Hello. Hello, world. I'm Chris Pirillo, and I was thinking it'd be kind of rude to chew gum and talk to you on video at the same time live, and then it falls out of my mouth at the beginning of the broadcast. Welcome. This is the LockerGnome Daily Report, or TLDR for short, your daily dose of geek news, product views, and answers that you can use. Do my best for you, and I am still very, very tired, so I give you answers that you can use, like an answer to the question, why, Chris, are you still tired? Because this weekend, we had Vlogger Fair, Part 2. Most of the feedback has been positive. Of course, there's been a few people that, had some concerns. Some of them legit, some people, I'm not, there's legitimate concerns. But the problem is that when you host an event, it's kind of like a video, right? Some people are happy with what you do and some people aren't. No matter what you do, someone's always going to find fault. So most of the feedback has been constructive. In fact, we're kind of ahead of the game in certain respects in listening to feedback. One of the complaints, this is probably going to hold, be nearer and dearer to your geek heart or nerd. If you're a geek or a nerd, I love you as long as you love me. And I don't want to make this awkward or any more awkward than it needs to be. But we didn't have Wi-Fi at the event, and so this was a concern to some people. And here's why. Because it wasn't an event where you got online necessarily. It was an event where you could actually meet people. So we thought it was kind of a novel idea as you were waiting in line for something, or you're standing around, or you're sitting around, that you could actually talk to the person next to you rather than getting on your social feeds. I mean, there's a time for social feeds. But when you're actually in a building with 2,000 other people, you take that time to meet someone. You never know who you're going to meet. You never know which relationships are going to be kindled from there. And you can't do that online necessarily. So, whereas the venue didn't really afford us the opportunity to do Wi-Fi at a scalable level, I'm grateful for how it turned out. And some people were a little concerned about that. But what are you going to do? Like, you're in real life. You meet people in real life. You seem, you might have been lucky to have been the recipient of my gum. I could have spit gum on you. This is a value add that I don't think we could have sold in a package. We're already working on the next Vlogger Fair, putting down some ideas to try to execute on that properly. And 10 Minecrafters apparently live in Seattle. I hope to do something much bigger, substantially larger, with Minecraft community. But we're going to keep the event tight-knit, so it's still community-focused, still in a single room, keep that energy going and flowing. And I think maybe about 3,000 people next year. I think that's reasonable, and I think that's it's a good number. I think it's a solid number, and it certainly would allow us to kind of keep that same feeling that you could still connect with other people without feeling overwhelmed. And then if anything, we'll do a separate Vlogger Fair throughout the year, possibly in Seattle, and target it towards, a certain type of community, like geeks, or music, or families, or makeup. I don't know. I'm not into makeup at all. But anyway, it was a good time, and my voice is still a little hoarse, so if I don't go the full half hour, you have to pardon. I'm still catching up across the board. It was quite a wild week. So let me go ahead and thank the 957 current active patrons that we know of. This presentation was supposed to be updated this weekend. However, the person responsible for that unfortunately couldn't do it. She got sick. But this is the thing you got to understand. With the Patreon campaign that we have, it's not just for me. I actually have people who I work with on a regular basis and am able to pay them. And that so be patient. The person who's responsible for this is sick. She's in the process of updating, and I made sure that she knew, like, hey, this is very, very important. Our patrons are very important. So I have every belief that we'll be able to get it updated within the next couple of days. And I know I've been saying that, but I wanted to let you know that I'm trying to, like I said, trying to build a team. And part of the pledges are going to that team. And one of those people is got sick. What are you gonna do? You get sick. I feel like I'm kind of, getting sick too. Oh, speaking of sick, this is kind of sick, but not in a disgusting way. In the awesome ways that the kids still use sick that way, right? I posted a picture of baby Pirillo. Now, patrons already saw this picture last week. Not the fun text one that I posted, but a full-on from the ultrasound. There's a new technology that allows you to see the baby as it sits in the womb. And it's funny because the picture that I posted on social today, Instagram, Tumblr, Facebook, Twitter, it's out there. It's already out there. I'd show it to you now. You want to see it? Well, go look at the feeds, man. I mean, not everything. You can't put everything on YouTube. Well, you could, but we're not going to do that. So go look at the social feeds. The funny thing is because the picture, the way it was taken, a lot of people think it's a boy. Mm-hmm. But yesterday, or I'm sorry, in today's vlog, the midwife who was taking the heartbeat goes, shoo, shoo. Wait, how's it sound like? I can make the sound.
Yeah.
So I knew it was the heartbeat. She said her or she or something, and but that doesn't mean anything because I believe that she is also our midwife. It also called the child a he too. So it's he, she.
And she sees tons of bellies.
Exactly. So there's no telling if it's a boy or a girl. We know. We obviously know. And are very happy. Charles Trippy also knows.
Yeah. And
Shay Carl knows. Close friends. Or
Liz.
close friends now. And Liz knows. Liz was really the instrument, kind of like the flute, really, of Vlogger Fair. She is the flute of Vlogger Fair. That's her. She's going to change her Twitter profile now. Flute. You like flute? What's your favorite instrument? Bass. Let me guess. Bass. Trumpet. She is the trumpet of Vlogger Fair. The instrument of Vlogger Fair. She helped make it possible, and she's here at least for a little while. And so she's hanging out with this live stream, so I can have a live audience, so they can giggle at me silently when I drop gum on the table. So there is some tech news or geek news, really, that it kind of sounded interesting enough to talk about today. But if anybody has any questions or comments, feel free to remark in the comments on this live video. Speaking of Greg Schaeffler, I met Greg, and I believe Greg, your wife, Greg. Sorry if I may, and I met a lot of people this weekend. Not exactly 2,000, but it was Greg's wife. I believe wanted to take a picture with you, Diana, and Greg's wife really only likes the vlogs when you're in it. I mean, she likes the vlogs, but she really... So Greg watches the vlogs at work, and then if it's a Diana heavy episode, I'm not saying that's not a weight thing, I'm saying in terms of time. If it's a Diana heavy episode, not a heavy Diana episode, then he tells his wife, "You'll love today's vlog. You gotta watch today's vlog." So basically, Diana, you have some fans. That's what people are saying. And so, Greg, thank you, not just for your being a patron. I also met Max3099 and his counterpart. Sorry, I don't know. Wives, girlfriends, counterparts, I don't know. But I was very happy to meet a few patrons in real life. And also, I believe they go by the handle Boris and Natasha. And I think that was them. I'm sorry. Like, sometimes my wires get crossed, but we met them as well. Eric is his name. He had tweeted us, and, well, at least, sorry. My brain is mush, so you have to pardon it. Liz, are you watching YouTube? Can you just hit pause? Can we just mute these phones?
It's one of those Facebook things.
Oh, Facebook, you just automatically... Yeah. Oh, video book, you mean? Every time you log into Facebook now, it's like video. Mine never show up.
Bucket challenges.
What is up with the ice bucket? I've been challenged by so many people. You know, I took a cold shower. I'm good. I'm good. Why do I need ice? Why do I need to ice myself?
So his name's Eric.
Yes.
Her name's Laura.
Yes. But is that Boris and Natasha?
Oh, you mean on Twitter?
Not on Twitter, but they present themselves as Boris and Natasha as patrons.
Oh,
I think that's a crossover. Sorry, I met a lot of people, and I hate naming names because then you inevitably leave someone out, and I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings at all. So, okay, back to the geek news. I had to give a shout out to Greg because I met him in real life. Google. I don't know if this is the most interesting news, but I'm kind of paying attention to this now as a daddy-to-be. I met so many family vloggers this weekend. Sorry, I know I got to get off the vlogger fair thing. But a lot of families vlog. They share their lives. Not really necessarily geeks, although Brian Lanning, I think he's a geek in training. I think he's kind of getting into the gadget thing. I think he's fascinated. If he ever saw my Lego collection, he would die. I think he's into Harry Potter as well. Is he not? Yes. See, I know enough. I know enough to be dangerous, and then sometimes I cross the streams, and then it's all over. Google, back to the headline, is aiming to make services more kid-friendly by doing things that would make Google and Google services more accessible to kids. So, for example, like a YouTube account that was limited and would not expose these children to things that they should not be seeing. Or Google services that would be more kid-friendly and, of course, compliant with any kind of governmental regulation, depending on where those kids happen to live on the planet. I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. I've praised Amazon in the past for what they've done with free time. It's not free, but it's basically a service you buy into, a subscription service with the Kindle line of products where you get unlimited apps, games, music, kid stuff. You don't have to worry about anything. You just give the kid the account. You pay like a couple bucks. Prime members get it cheaper, and it's for kids. And I love that idea. I think that's absolutely fantastic. Oh, baby, go get the Woogie, the Woogie, the Woogie, the Woogie, the Liana Green thing. I should have grabbed that. That's a geeky thing. Sorry, baby. I didn't mean to make you move. Do you want me to go get it?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Is it okay to tag yourself in your own photo?
I think it's really kind of strange, hon.
Is it?
Yeah, I
On
wouldn't do
Instagram?
that. Yeah, that's really bizarre. Don't do that.
Is it like
That's like liking your own stuff. Really. We don't do that. That's really. It's fine. I'd tag myself. Doesn't help, really. People could look at a picture of me and not even know it was me. So anyway, Google, I think, is taking a step in the right direction. I kind of wish Apple would do the same thing, if only because kids are being exposed to technology earlier and earlier, although you probably shouldn't from all the things that I've taken the time to read. Exposing a child to technology under the age of 2 is not advised. For a lot of different reasons. I've gone into it. I talked about it last week, but this is a big deal because some people say, well, what kind of tech are you going to give your kid? I got a Darth Vader laptop. What kind of tech do you think I'm going to give my kid? This is from our friends Liana and Justin. They were just in the vlog. I think yesterday's here. The Woogie. There we go. Here's a product. It's a Woogie. Ooh, I got a Woogie. Ooh, I got a Woogie. This would freak me out, by the way, if I was a kid and someone, ooh, I got a Woogie. It looks like one of those creatures that, like a microbe of Ebola or something like that. This is a flesh-eating bacteria thing. I don't know what it is. But anyway, you can put your smartphone in there, and then the kid can play the game and everything and like throw it around and bop it around or woogie it around or whatever you do with the woogie. And there you go. This might be the first way that the baby will be exposed to a smartphone. Unless I'm bold enough to say, here, baby's first iPhone. And then take it away because you can't give tech to babies. You gotta be careful. That's what I read. Might damage him for life, as opposed to just being a Pirillo in the first place. That was hard enough. That was an uphill battle. Patron Earle Greene, thank you so much for sending me some headlines because I was not finding anything when I went to look this morning. Greg Schaeffler says, did it just figure out 60 automatically? Oh, that guy commenting says that Google thinks he's 60. Well, one day we can hope. I hope to make 60. Dad's brains, and I don't know if I talked about this last time. Dad's brains are ready to bond with kids. Science. I guess I'm already kind of ready to connect with the child as I find out that we share the genes. I don't know if the same thing happens with adoptions, but I imagine that when you become the protector, I know what it's like to be a guy. We have this protective instinct. Like if we protect the people we care about. We should. I mean, biologically speaking, we are predisposed to this. So this is one of the reasons why I don't like it when I see anybody attacking my friends, certainly attacking my family. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And that's how you know who your true friends are. When you're being attacked, even perceivably, your friends will stand up for you. Your true friends will. And so it makes sense that dad's brains are ready to bond with kids. So even though I will not lactate or I have no plans on lactating, TMI. Is that TMI? I will be able to bond. Was it really that boring, Liz?
Oh, yeah, terribly.
God, she just left the room. Canadians. Let's see here. I'm scrolling through the comments. Don't really see anything. Need to get her to add Diana on Patreon. Oh, no worries. Diana, in fact, Diana, you're doing your video this week. She hasn't recorded it yet. It'll be uploaded to her channel. We just got our stroller car seat, so you're going to do a stroller unboxing thing in your channel? Mm-hmm. I'll record it. I'll film it.
You're probably gonna have to. Should we do the stroller or the car seat first?
I don't know. What you should do is ask your patrons before you record the video, and then you can do it. Even if we can try to get a quick response, and then we'll record it tonight after we have a couple people, talk about it. So we'll give her patrons the option. We're really appreciative of that. HP Stream 14. Guys, if you found any other headlines, if you're upset at me, you got to help me out. If I missed a headline, sometimes I need you to help here because I had a busy weekend. HP Stream 14, a $199 Windows laptop aimed squarely at the Chromebook market. Now, this is fascinating to me for a few different reasons. Oh, by the way, if you saw the recent update from Microsoft, be careful if you install it. Apparently, it wreaked havoc. So many problems, apparently, they pulled it. So be careful about hot fixes from Microsoft until you hear word getting cleared. And, of course, as soon as I know, I'll be reporting it here in TLDR. HP Stream 14, $199, Windows laptop. They're basically, trying. I don't know if people are interested in Windows, though. I don't know if Windows 8 was what people expected, what they want in a Windows machine. And I think they're accommodating their tablet or smartphone needs with other platforms at this stage. Even a Chromebook replacement. I think in terms of price, I think it's valid. Obviously, I've not seen it, not used it, can't speak to the experience of an HP Stream 14, but I think that price point is right about where it would need to be to gain adoption, at least as far as HP PCs are concerned, running Windows. So I am kind of excited to take a look at it if I can. If I can get a hold of one, I'd like to experience it to see what it's like. I actually read another article this weekend talking about. I mean, I don't want to beat Windows 8 up any more than I kind of already have. Honestly, I don't have to beat Windows 8 up. It beats itself up. I just kind of point out what I believe is the obvious. The example that I would like to point out is apparently I'm being vlogged by Liz now on the other side of the room. I can't. This is very uncomfortable. I'm not very good in front of the camera. Now I get nervous. Got stage fright. This is not really a stage though. It's just it's a floor with carpeting and something that shouldn't be there. Who put that there? That's a dog. Dog must have done something. Pretty soon a baby's gonna do something down there. What was it? Good. A UI is like a good joke. If you have to explain it, it misses on all counts. It doesn't work. So I didn't make that quote, but I thought it was very, very fitting. I didn't have a problem with the Windows 8 UI as much as I did the UX, and the two are completely different. User interface, icons, and toolbars, and the visuals. User experience is how you go and use them and how they all work together. Two things, they work hand in hand. You can have a good UX with a poor UI, but you can't. I guess you could have a good UI and a poor UX as well. It's ultimately the better job, when the two come together. So, for example, I didn't mind the general user experience of iOS 7, now 8, or what will be 8. The user interface, to me, just bits and pieces just didn't seem to be as polished as I would wanted them to be. But I guess I kind of grew to tolerate, and that's not good. I mean, it's just, to me, that's not a glowing review. In fact, I like the user interface of Windows 8 probably more than I liked the user interface of iOS 7. That's a flat fact. I thought it looked beautiful. Problem was it just wasn't very usable depending on the kind of computer that you were using Windows 8 on. That's my opinion. I'm not saying that it's right for you. I'm not saying that's the bottom line. All I'm saying is that I'm not the only one that has that opinion, and it seems that the rest of the marketplace completely agrees with me. Now, you may not. That doesn't mean we have to fight about it. It just means, hey, you know what? If everybody in this world was exactly like you, just think about how that would suck. Let's face it. You don't want. Would you ever? I'll ask you. Would you ever want to date yourself? Think about that. Think about your most annoying traits. You think you're fine, and then you date someone who's exactly like you, and then you're like, wow, I hate myself. And I mean that in the nicest way. Like, we're all not perfect. Like, imagine, I would not want. I'm glad Diana is almost just the opposite. For me, and not only female, complete opposite there as far as sex is concerned. But even with Corn, we differ on that. So I mean, it just keeps the relationship lively. Gives us something to fight about, right? Packed last night. Oh, we're in Charles Trippy's vlog. I don't know if anybody guys. I don't know if y'all saw that. We're in Charles Trippy's vlog, and so many other vlogs. It was really kind of nice. I was not expecting to have dinner with both he and Allie and Danny and Lindsay, and then my dad was there, and Liz was there, and Aunt what was her name from Wizard of Oz? I was trying to. Uncle
add people.
Auntie M and Uncle.
And the kid that ran down the street screaming.
Well, I don't want to ruin it. That I'm going to save that for the vlog edit. It's some weird stuff. It was funny, but after our meal, it was really funny. I don't think he vlogged that either.
No, he.
I captured it as the kid was running back. So funny. So next little story here, by way of Patron Earle Greene. Microsoft. Okay, this is the link that talks about Microsoft's August update being a bust. So take a look at that. I've already kind of alluded to that a few minutes ago. So either way, there's the story if you want to dive deeper on that particular issue. Apparently, the update caused crashes. Who are you taking selfies with?
Charles Trippy.
That's Charles Trippy?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, there's Diana and Charles Trippy.
That's the one Liz took.
Oh, yeah.
A picture of a selfie.
It's a picture of the selfie.
So we got caught.
So it's selfie See, I got a better one. I got Shay Carl took a picture of me holding on to one of my shoes with Darth Vader on it. Although it wasn't clear because I guess it was clipped. And Charles was holding on to a beautiful, I thought it was Daxton, but I didn't want to, I'm having problems with names today. who apparently he had lightsabers, his little things, but I never got animated. Well, he said they're lightsabers and I need to animate them. Like, I can't animate lightsabers. So I got a picture with Charles, Daxton, and then Shay Carl took that photo. So it's kind of neat. It's kind of neat to be there in that photo. Like, it felt like 3 generations together and we had nothing to do with one another. Patron Earle Greene also sent this. This is kind of neat. A computer is possible that can calculate the speed of light, at the speed of light. That may become available as early as 2020. Now, that is not the show that you might watch on TV. I'm talking about the year 2020, when hopefully most people here will be around. Of course, we will be older and hopefully wiser, although some people, as they get older, they get dumber. Have you noticed that? I don't know if that happens in Canada. Does that happen? Some people get older and they just, you know, they start out really innocent and nice, and then all of a sudden, you know.
American.
What do you mean American?
You don't know what to say.
No. Tabernacle? Is that a...
That's really bad.
Oh. Apparently I just swore in French Quebecian.
Oh, no.
So if you're a Quebecian, is that... Can I...
Quebecois.
Quebecois. Wow.
Ooh, it even sounds nice.
Quebecois. I don't know why I do that. Ooh, I got a good one there.
I'm sure Liz is tired of all your Canadian jokes.
No, she's not.
She loves them.
She's eating it up. So a computer will be able to calculate the speed of light. Fantastic. Amazing. I mean, the technology that's coming down the pike is transformative. And that to me is just going to open up a wide variety of applications that otherwise we would just never have access to. You know, our brain is going to... right now, it works very, very fast. And it will continue to work fast, but computers will outpace it at some point. The speed of the brain. And, you know, it's just going to be interesting how humanity handles technology when it gets to that point. Because right now, I think some people are irresponsible with how they use technology. They use technology almost as a weapon. And, you know, it's just not... To me, that doesn't make the world a better place. In fact, it makes it a worse place. So there's times that I think technology can be used to bolster what it means to be human, and times that, unfortunately, it's used as a weapon. And I'm not a fan of that in general. If only because, you know, we're only on this earth for a very short time. Why do we have to waste our time with people who are just not very good people? That's my dream for a future. Yeah, let's all sing Kumbaya and, like, just have fun with technology instead of having to worry about things. Can we do that? That would be amazing. So here's the product view, or beyond the Woogie. I guess I can put a link for that somewhere in the description, the Woogie. This, another person gave me, I just edited the vlog. This is at Vlogger Fair. I'm blanking on it. He was taller than me, I remember that. He gave...
Most people.
Boy, Liz, you are just cruising for it. That's most people. So, he asked if I had this, and I did. I did have this, but I said I did not have one out of the package. So I may be removing this Darth Vader bottle opener from the package, and I asked for permission. I said, thank you. And I asked for permission on this, and indeed, the permission was given, so I will be opening it. Some people took their family vacations just to meet us, hon.
I know.
That really neat. I honestly, I wasn't expecting that. I think we may have a few, for the vlog, I think a few new people who have joined the community. Don't really care that much about technology, those people necessarily. But, you know, kind of latched onto our story, as odd as that is. I guess some people are still trying to figure me out. And I'm not a complex creature, really. I like my Woogies and my waters and my live streams and my bottle openers and this lamp and the phone charger and Diana.
Yeah.
Sometimes Liz.
Sometimes. Your pen.
My pens.
Your lip balm.
My lip balm.
Your coasters.
My coasters.
Your patrons.
Oh
My patrons.
yeah.
Parents. My parents.
Your parents.
I can do this all day. This is... Chris, what happens when you don't have a lot of news to share? This is what happens. So, you know, really, I know that today, for the separate video, the Q&A with you and me, I wanted to cover a couple of things. But it's really around the idea of, is technology ever going to get to the point where it just melts away and you can just use it? And we're kind of on the cusp now, but I really want to speak, you know, at some length about what that means, not just for the world of technology, but for us as humans, this condition that we exist. Most of us feel. Some people don't. Some people don't feel. They go through the motions, but ultimately they don't feel. I think that there are extreme challenges ahead of us in relation to this power that we now have. And I'll go back to the original story talking about Google in addressing kids, or better addressing kids. Don't worry about it. The phone vibrated. I got vibrating things all over the place. Phone's here. She got worried there. Sure. The thing you got to worry about is muting it so that Liz comes in here, and then Wicket just crawls away. He hates that sound. Yeah, don't ever do that around Wicket. Wicket does not like that at all. Doesn't like the screenshot sound, doesn't like the camera sound.
Yeah, but I think the tritone really gets him shaken.
Yeah, the tritone is the one that he hates. Absolutely loves. I'm checking the live comments here. No one's really got questions or any points to necessarily address, so I am doing my best to pay attention. I did not black out during this broadcast, not just physically, but I mean the video. No, I didn't do that. That sounds weird, right? But the reason why is because I rebooted the computer right before the broadcast. I almost forgot to do that. So anyway, kids, as they're introduced to technology, don't necessarily have the emotional capacity to handle the power at their fingertips. And even adults don't do that. But especially when kids are not guided enough to understand that people can be influenced by technology in good and bad ways. And I think that always plays out when I go to an event. One of our sponsors, Comcast or Xfinity, had a hashtag, and I guess it's still there, VKind, that's the letter V, Kind, and just trying to increase awareness about cyberbullying and really making people understand that you're not alone. If you're being bullied in real life or online, you're being bullied. And you shouldn't stand for that. I don't stand for that. I don't like getting pushed around. I don't like I don't like it when someone else thinks they're in control. I'm like, well, in some cases you might be, but in some cases you're not. I'm in control of my life. Some people don't like that. Well, it's not my fault. It's kind of like, what? I like coffee. Some people don't. What are you gonna do? I mean, if you don't like it, don't drink it. Don't slag me for liking coffee. But when it comes to the idea that we can just access almost universally each other without putting a mental frame around understanding that there's a human being on the other side of the screen, I think that's where a lot of the technology breaks down. I'm starting to sound, I feel like I'm sounding like a broken record because I've talked about this so much. But it just played out for me, I think, in person this weekend in more ways than one. Sometimes people forget they're communicating with people, and it's nice to be able to meet face-to-face and realize that there's someone on the other side of the screen. New faces, old faces, new friends, old friends. It's technology's bringing us together, and I hope it does continue to do that. And some kids understand the power because they've been, basically given a frame around that power, and some people haven't. Like, some people complained about certain things, and they didn't necessarily think that we were human, I think. We had some issues that we ran into, some that we just couldn't overcome. Did our best. But sometimes as soon as you're able to explain it to someone, as long as there's not too much vitriol being exchanged, at least from, a volley, from the outside in, sometimes people just don't have that understanding. And we've come to a point with technology that it's just so easy to be so emotional online or to share your emotions that people just do. And they just don't even think about it. They're like, why isn't Justine here? And they get angry. And I'm like, well, Justine wasn't here because she was taking care of Ryan. Like, he's in the hospital. He tweeted it, he Instagrammed it out, and I guess he had surgery today, and I hope everything goes well. And I told him, I said, well, if Justine was here, I'd be upset at her. I said, get out, go, don't even be here, be with Ryan. So I think it's a big deal. That's a big deal to just keep that in mind, the perspective of what you don't know before you just kind of spout off, and people kind of forget that, and that's the one thing that frightens me when it comes to kids getting a hold of technology because they haven't necessarily been taught how to use it properly. And I don't mean tap this button, click this button. I mean use it, and they could potentially tear down instead of building up, especially if they don't really have any good role models, or the role models they're following are leaving a path of destruction in their wake and not necessarily trying to make the world a better place. I'm doing what I can to set a good example in telling you that I think you need to be using technology for good, not to tear people down. That's my cyberbullying message, though. I'm not a fan of that. Woe be unto the child that I discover is doing things like that. Because you want to talk about revoking tech privileges, that would be it. That would be it. Minecraft. This is the last thing we're going to talk about. Tried it. I'm going to try picking it up again. We got 10 big Minecrafters in Seattle, all the way from Sky to Basher and everybody in between. And Basher, I guess, has been watching me for quite some time. Basher and his girlfriend Clara watch the vlogs. They love the vlogs. I got Basher into Lego sets. Loves them now. He doesn't have furniture, but he's got some Lego sets. So it's great. He just moved up here. And he's got a nice, I guess, 4K TV, 80-inch 4K TV. So
cool.
content looks amazing there. I'm going to try to do something with them in Minecraft. I don't know what it is. I gotta get started somehow. Because there's 10 of them. They're like a family, and it's like a mafia thing. I don't know if I had to be invited, initiated. What the hell is going on with that? So I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it again. But if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it with the people that I like and people who are doing well for the community and with the community. And so Minecraft, yeah, I think we're gonna try it again. Gonna try it because if you're gonna do it, you gotta do it, the right way. Dad wants to learn Minecraft, so I'm gonna see if we can get Sky to teach Dad Minecraft.
Yeah.
Dad. Hey. You can do a lot, Liz. You can talk smack, but the last thing you do is that in this office. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Canadians. Eh?
I like how you say it like she's from a different world.
Well, it kind of are. They look just like us, too. That's the creepy thing. They're walking among us. You would never know it.
You would never know it.
So, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Honestly, I did my best to interact as much as I could. Pull as much as I could, and I've got so much to dig out of. I gotta catch up on video editing, vlog editing, a few things. I got a few things on my plate. But I wanted to spend this time with you. You deserve it, and I have to thank the patrons once again for making this possible for me to spend my time with you. Thanks for all your appreciation. Thanks for everything that you might do. I hope you have a great day. I hope you had a great weekend. I hope you have a great week. I'm going to record the separate video now, the Q&A with you and me. Going to jump right into that here. And see, did I say everything I needed to say right now, hon?
Mm-hmm.
Check out the picture of baby Pirillo in Diana's womb. You'll love that, or you might. And then you can guess whether it's a boy or a girl. We don't show any body parts, nor will we ever, to indicate.
Pressed up against me.
No, we got shit. Yeah, that's the thing. That it's very like it's important to keep in mind that it's in the womb. Shh. Shh. Shh.
Okay, black
Zibba.
Black out.
Zibba.
Black out now. Onto the woogie.
I don't even like my own bodily fluids. Here you go. Hold my woogie. Thank you. Thank you everybody for tuning in. I hope you had fun. It's hard to do. I like the studio audience here. Not really a studio, not really an audience, but hey, you make do. At this point, I'm going to leave you to your own devices. We'll see you later.